Welcome to my sketchbook tour. I apologize for the shaky camera, but I don't have a tripod, so I'm using a stack of books to hold up my arm. But I feel like this will be better anyway, so I can like zoom in on certain drawings. But I'll show my stickers first. There's the front cover. I don't remember who made any of these stickers. I feel bad not like sharing that, but I just genuinely do not remember. A lot of them are just like stuff that I got off of like sticker packs on Amazon and stuff, so anyway, let's get started. This sketchbook I was working on from September 2nd of 2025 to March 17th of 2026. So it's been a while since I finished this, but I am still working on my next one, so it's not like I'm almost done another sketchbook. But I just have some hand studies right here, and then this is my Killjoy OC. Her name is Adrenaline Vampire. She's kind of like my Sona, but at this point she really doesn't look like me anymore. I mean, my hair is a completely different color, so she's more of just an OC now. And then over here I have Illy McMillan, Party Poison, and then this is Gerard and Lola from his Hesitant Alien album. So yeah, that's my little like front cover section. Then I have some Illy drawings. I really don't like any of these, but also the spine of this sketchbook broke, so the sketchbook's not entirely filled because I was getting so annoyed by this that I just had to move on. Here I have a graphite pencil drawing of Gerard Way when he wore that like Joan of Arc night outfit during the Swarm tour. I love this photo so much. So yeah, I'm really proud of like this part. I got it so smooth compared to like the rest of the pencil. So yeah, I really like how this one turned out. This was made by my friend. Her username is Ash Stash if you want to follow her. And then there's a little sketch of Gerard. This is a thumbnail of something. I can't even tell what it is anymore. And then this was right after, I think it was the Boston My Chemical Romance show where it was the first time they did like a different ending during Blood. So as you can tell, I was very obsessed with that. And it's funny because I thought that was like the craziest thing that was gonna happen, and now like they're doing insane things on this tour. So this is like very tame compared to what they're doing now. This is some homework. I was taking a class called Environments and Props, and I had to draw a lot of props or like just objects. So I don't remember how many, but we'll find out. It's just random things that are around my dorm. This is my Party Poison Funko Pop. Some other things, my CD player, my Snoopy plushie. Some of them start to get like, you could tell I was starting to get sick of this assignment because like this speaker is terrible. I don't know what that is. It's supposed to be round. So yeah, you can tell when I started to get bored. And then these are the last objects. So I guess it was 28. I had to draw 28 objects. For the most part, they're not that bad. Some Gerard and Lola again. These are some screenshots from the Desolation Row music video. And then here's some from Famous Last Words. And this is a thumbnail for a comic I was making for a class. Another homework assignment, I had to draw 6 windows. You can kind of tell this is when I stopped using references and just made up my own window, because that one is awful. This is mostly a thumbnail page. I have Metaton down here. This is thumbnails for a zine that I made. And then this was a drawing prompt for one of my classes where we had to like draw ourselves as a superhero. So there's me and my dog as superheroes. I think this turned out really cute. This is a thumbnail for a drawing I ended up doing digitally of the I'm Not Okay music video. I'll see if I can put the digital drawing on the screen. I'm not great at video editing, so if you don't see it, it's on my Instagram. And then here's some sketches of Gerard in highlighter. Here's Marianne and Gerard with the gentleman. And then I did this for, I think it was the 11th anniversary of Hesitant Alien. If you can't tell from all the other drawings I've done of him in this album, I really love Hesitant Alien. If you have not listened to that album, please go listen to it. It is like my favorite album of all time. It's so good. This is another homework assignment. I had to draw some buildings. I think these 3 were buildings that I saw around Savannah, and then these 3 were just Pinterest references. And then this is a thumbnail for a 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge zine that I did for one of my classes. I'm thinking of doing another YouTube video where I do a tour of all 3 of my MCR zines, so stay tuned for that. I hate every single one of these drawings, but it's all Gerard. If you couldn't tell, there's definitely a pattern going on with this sketchbook. And just some testing out a new pen that I got, thumbnail for a painting that I did for class. Just some perspective practice. And then this is Hayley Williams from Paramore in the Told You So music video. I used to draw her in this outfit all the time when I was in middle school. And this is the first time that I've, like since then, that I've drawn her from that music video. I think this was somebody else's OC. I don't remember. I think I drew it in class. And then this is Red and Blue from the Killjoy comics. From the first Killjoy comic, not the one where they're sisters. This is the Red and Blue that are dating. It's weird that there are 2 different Killjoy comics with 2 different sets of characters called Red and Blue. One pair is dating and the other pair is sisters. So yeah, these are the ones that are dating. I was sketching some of the covers for Hayley Williams' album Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party when she released them all as singles first. I did give up halfway through, but. And then another homework assignment, we had to draw cars. And there will be many more cars coming up because this was the second assignment where we had to draw 8 more cars, but I think there are 28 cars on the next few pages. Here's some paint pen and highlighter sketches. This was when they were first releasing photos of Reeve Carney as MC in Cabaret. And I really liked this picture, so I drew it. And then there's Gerard. And there's Gerard again when he wore that denim dress in the Swarm tour. And then this is when I watched Jennifer's Body for the first time. And then there's a thumbnail of something that I never ended up doing. And here are the next 28 cars. Some of these are suggestions from other people. This was my old car. I don't have it anymore, but there's a Volkswagen Bug, the Mystery Machine. Some of these are cars that my dad wanted me to draw. There's the car from the Na 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 music video. Little van, a hearse. This is where I started running out of ideas because I drew the loaded diaper van. There's the Ghostbusters car. Then I started drawing non-cars. So we have a jet ski and like a carriage. And these are the last 4. And then I had to design my own car. And I drew it digitally, but I ended up going with this little alien car. It's very cute. I never finished this, but these are the characters from the National Anthem Killjoy comic. Here's Red and Blue, the sisters. There's Mike Milligram. I don't remember her name. I'm so sorry. I do not remember. And then there's Animax. I like how Mike turned out a lot. I think that looks really good. I like how this one turned out too. I didn't finish the watercolor part. Because watercolor in this sketchbook, because the paper is so smooth, like it doesn't soak in at all, so it just like sits there on the surface. So I didn't use much watercolor during this one just because it was so hard to work with. It really sucks because watercolor is one of my favorite mediums. More perspective practice. The prompts we had was like 2 people talking in a mechanic. So there's the car up there. These are some thumbnails for a comic I did for one of my class's finals. It's about I have 3 clown OCs, so I did a comic about them breaking into a pet store to play with puppies. And then this is my thumbnail for my Black Parade zine, which again, I'm gonna make a separate video on. And this is more notes about the zine and some sketches. Gerard Way, iPod dance. Here's some paint pen drawings of Gerard. I don't really like this one, but I think these 3 turned out really good. I want to go back and do some more drawings with this kind of like texture that I got. I think that looks really, really nice. And then these are some of the environments from my clown comic. Here's their dressing room, the street that they were driving down. And then here's just some more of the pet store. And then I made some slightly bigger thumbnails for the first 2 pages. I ended up not putting any dialogue in it because that wasn't required, so. And then this is around the time of my school's film fest, so I got to see a lot of things because I camped out overnight to get tickets for that year. My first movie was K-Pop Demon Hunters, which this was the first time I saw it. And then I didn't get to see Wicked for Good early, but I did get to see John Chu talk about the movie, which was really cool. And then I saw Sinners for the first time, which is now one of my favorite movies. Here's some more tickets. I saw I Love LA and Welcome to Derry, and then I saw Wake Up Dead Man. I saw this like pretty early before it came out on Netflix, which was cool. And then I saw Merrily We Roll Along and Frankenstein. I saw both of these early too. And then this is a thumbnail for my Danger Days scene, which I did not make it for class, so it ended up taking me a lot longer to actually get started on it. I just recently finished it, almost a year after I made this thumbnail, but now I have all 3 of them, so that's fun. And then I was redesigning some outfits for Party Poison. I ended up drawing them digitally. This is just a little thumbnail thing. We got given a script and had to make a little comic page of it. And then seeing the episode of the It Show got me back into the movie. So here's Eddie and Beverly. And then here's sketches of all the kids. I did not get to stand because they just kept getting worse and worse as I went on. But I think Eddie and Richie look pretty cute. This was when that, I guess, I don't know if the song is called Sienna. It's by the Marias. But there was like this trend where it was like you put a list of your favorite characters and then you like compared them to yourself. So I ended up doing that. It's on my TikTok and my Instagram if you want to see. And then this is Frank Iero posted a picture of himself on Halloween in this like inflatable pig costume. So I drew that. And then here's Gerard on the Swarm tour. There's Haley Williams, and then Party Poison and the girl from the music videos. And then there's Pearl up there. And this is when I finally saw Wicked. So I have Elphaba and Glinda, Bach, Nessa, and then the 4 from The Wizard of Oz. I really like how this page turned out. And there's Party and the girl again. Oh, and this is when I saw Pluribus on Apple TV. It's a really good show, so if you haven't seen it, I would recommend it. And this is a thumbnail for something I did digitally. And then there's Gerard Way, and there he is again. I don't know why those are in here. These are just some thumbnails for things. I don't think I ever ended up posting any of this. It was for a Killjoy OC zine that I did with some other people, but I just didn't love what I made, so I never ended up posting it on my personal social medias. And then this is when I watched Severance for the first time. So here's Helly and Mark. And then this is the start of my winter quarter at school. So my first assignment for my character design class was to make like a turnaround of myself as like a cartoon character. So I ended up going with this design. I think it's really cute. And then here's a page of Severance drawings. I really like this page. I like this drawing specifically. I think that turned out so good. And then here are some drawings of Mark. And then for my digital illustration class, the first assignment was to do a creature fusion. So like combining 2 different animals or creatures. So here's some of my thumbnails. This one is a bat seal hybrid, deer Dalmatian. This is what I ended up doing for the final assignment. Here's a goat monkey. Yeah, these were really fun to come up with. There's Helly again. I don't remember her name, but she's also from Severance. And then Devin and Mark. And then this is, well, I'll go to the next page because I have more on the next page, but my next character design assignment was to take a live action show or movie and design the characters for animation. So I did Severance. So here's some of my planning for that. I think I was only supposed to do 4 characters, but I ended up doing 6 because I couldn't decide, as you can see from my long list up here. And I did Helly, Mark, Irving, Dylan, and then this is the background I put them on, the office. And then Mr. Milchick and Gemma. And then my professor was trying to help me figure out how to draw Adam Scott's face because he's got a weird face. So this is my professor attempting to help me figure that out. And then the next assignment for that class was to take Star Wars characters and design them for a different time period. I know nothing about Star Wars, so I had to ask other people what characters I should draw, but I ended up doing, I have Han Solo on this page, but then I did Ahsoka, General Grievous, Princess Leia. I was gonna do an Ewok, but I ended up not doing that because I didn't need to. C-3PO, and then I think that's it. Yeah, here's some of my concepts. I ended up putting them in the 80s. This was a fun assignment, even though I know nothing about any of these characters. And then I drew Party Poison and Mettaton because I just think they would get along so well. I really love both of them. So, yeah. These are just some thumbnails for things. I drew Nurse Sylvia and the secretary. And then this is when they started their Latin American tour, where they did their first moat show, which was very exciting. The first time we saw Gerard stabbing the clerk, and the first like the eyeball picture, and the first time we saw Nurse Sylvia. So that was really, really exciting. So yeah, I did a whole page about that. I wish I could have seen a moat show, but I've been to 2 shows and they were both the like regular long-lived shows, which were still very fun. And then this is planning for my final character design and storyboarding assignment. We just had to do an animatic of literally anything we wanted. So I made an animatic to the song Blood by MCR. And it was about my original character, who is a game show host and also a serial killer. So it was really fun planning that out. That animatic is also on my YouTube channel, so after you watch this, you should check that out. And then this was another assignment for that class. I kind of just like made up my own episode of Bluey and did that. The characters are very cute and very simple, so that wasn't too hard. And then this was for my digital illustration class. We had to do an editorial illustration based off of an article that our professor gave us. I don't actually remember what the article was about. Something about like always being in a rush to do things or something. I don't remember. I feel like it had something to do with technology too, but I don't entirely remember. This was a few months ago. And then we also had to do a postcard. These were both on Adobe Illustrator too, which is like, it was so difficult to draw on there. I hate Adobe Illustrator. Here's Secretary Gerard with some lyrics from Boy Division. And then Mettaton, his news reporter Mettaton, and then him in the dress, and then Chainsaw Mettaton. He's my favorite character from Undertale, if you couldn't tell. More Mettaton. And then this is just some info about my OC that I did the animatic about. And here he is. That does not look like him at all. I hate this drawing. That looks a lot more like him. But yeah, he's fun. I like him a lot. I need to draw him more. And then this was a redraw of something that Gerard Way posted, like, I don't even know how long ago, but it was like for a concept of a story that he never ended up doing anything with, called the Hollow Teens, like Halloween. So I just redrew his drawing. I've seen people like redraw this but make them each the members of MCR, which I think is fun. So like this one would be Frank, Mikey, Gerard, and Ray. I think that's cute. But I just did the original designs. These are thumbnails for my digital illustration assignment. We had to do like a gig poster for like any music artist that we wanted. So obviously I did My Chemical Romance. I ended up going with this one for the Long Live tour, but honestly, I kind of want to make a few more of these. I really like this one with Marianne and Sylvia and the secretary. And then this one, like with the picture from the Moat Show. But yeah, they're all My Chemical Romance, except for this one. Technically, it's not. It's Hesitant Alien, but it's MCR adjacent, so we're gonna count it. This is Metaton and Mark S. Oh, here's my photo cards. I don't remember where I got these from, but these were my first ever photo cards. So I have Mikey and Ray now, which is fun. I just recently got one at the DC concert too, so now I have one of all of them as the Killjoys. Yeah, I don't really know what to do with them, so I just put them in my sketchbook, but I think they're fun. And then I tried to draw some of my favorite characters as Animal Crossing villagers, but I only like this one. This is Metaton. This is Klaus from the Umbrella Academy, and then this was Kurt Hummel from Glee. I stopped after him because I only like how this one turned out. And then my friend made me draw these two characters from The Pit, which I've never seen, so I don't know their names, but if you like The Pit, here they are. Oh, and these are all Instagram drawing requests, including that one, because I didn't know what to draw. So this is like the worst drawing of Gerard that I've ever done. Losing Amity, Tenna, and Spamton, and then these three from She-Ra. This is planning for one of my pre-quarter assignments. And then this is Sky Riley from Smile 2. I love that movie. And then this is the end of the sketchbook. As I said in the beginning, the spine, like, completely falling apart just made this so annoying to draw in. And also the fact that I couldn't use watercolor in it was really annoying me. So, I just ended up abandoning it and moving on to the next one. But this is an ELO sketchbook, by the way. I wouldn't recommend these sketchbooks if you really like to paint or use like wet mediums, but I used to use these all the time in middle school when I was using a lot of alcohol markers. So this is great for that. It's also, I really like using pencils in these. So yeah. Anyway, that was my sketchbook tour. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for my video of all of my MCR zines. And bye.